today. So I believe we are live. Let me just verify that real quick. I'm also going to verify if you can hear me. Alright, there we go. The audio is working finally, as it hasn't been working a few times in the past, so it is working. So yeah, welcome back everyone to the live stream. I know I haven't live streamed in a bit, very long time actually. So right now we're going to be covering the live severe weather that's currently impacting Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and parts of Delaware, and maybe even New York City and New York State pretty soon. I wasn't planning on going live for this, but I feel like this is a pretty big flood threat and a pretty big severe weather threat that we're looking at here. And I do want to try and live stream more, get more information out there. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So as we can take a look at the radar right now, as you can see, pretty colorful radar image right here. Lots of alerts popping up right now. We have a lot of flash flood alerts. And if I look at this, as you can see, that's strange. But as you can see here, we have a lot of reports coming in of flash flooding from county officials in the area. This is in Pennsylvania. It looks to be Philadelphia County over here, especially the Philadelphia city area. You're also seeing some flash flooding according to the Department of Highways. So if you're in Philadelphia or New Jersey, you have to watch out for the severe weather. And I'm aware that this threat right here is going to be moving straight north. But if you're in this area over here, let's just draw this area. We have this line right here, and this line of storms is moving north, and that is eventually going to move in this direction. I'll actually display that right here. It's going to move like this, so some areas like this, you can see, is going to be going straight north. So, yeah, if you're in eastern or western New Jersey, you have to watch out for severe weather. Going into Delaware right now, let's take a look at your threat. So, as of now, mostly just rainfall with a few rumbles of thunder possible. As you can see, some more moderate rainfall over here and exiting Delaware here, although no alerts are in effect, no special weather statements or anything like that. So that is good. Very good news. So now if we go back north to the New Jersey area, this is where most of the activity is currently happening. Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So let's first take a look at Pennsylvania. You can see most of the storms are starting to move out of your area, although if you're in very deep eastern Pennsylvania and western New Jersey, especially northwest New Jersey, that's where you're going to watch out for the severe weather. As you can see, moderate rainfall is approaching some pretty populated areas. I would say the northwest portions of Philadelphia, you're currently getting this moderate rainfall. And this is moving pretty slowly. Now, it isn't moving to the east. It's moving to the north or the northeast. So, if you're anywhere north here, you have to be watching. And you already have rainfall. And you've already had rainfall, and that is just going to continue to pile up. So, the flash flood threat will continue in those areas. Now, as you can see, this line is actually getting pretty well developed here. I'm surprised it's not warned, because if we take a look at radar indicated wind, as you can see, very strong winds, 40, 50 mile per hour, and this is mostly the reason why they want to go live, because there's a lot of radar indicated winds and flooding reports. So I just got a comment in from Daniel. Hey, how are you? I am doing good. How are you? So going back to these flash flood alerts here, we have a flash flood warning in effect for portions of New Jersey and Pennsylvania here. This one, it does actually include portions of northern Philadelphia as well. So this is a very large area to watch. And Daniel Bashner just replied saying great, and that is that's good. So this flash flood warning, this is currently radar indicated, so it's not confirmed by weather spotters, at least on the warning, although there is reports coming in of some flooding. So street/road flooding, road closed, or vehicles stranded there. although we're getting a lot of flood reports. In effect, these are local storm reports from the Department of Highways or storm spotters and stuff like that. In addition to that, we're also seeing county officials also. So is there any chance of tornado threats? Now, if we actually go jump over to the SPC right here, I would like to show that there is a 2% chance of some tornadoes in this area. This goes through Connecticut, Western Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, even into Delaware. That is a 2% chance. So not the highest chances there, but it is a chance, and it's higher than no chance. So there is a threat for maybe an isolated tornado warning or two, maybe one potentially touching the ground, but the threat is pretty low, and I wouldn't be too concerned about it, although it's definitely still something we have to watch. Now, the highest threat looks to be the wind right now. We have a 5% chance of some wind within 25 miles of any given point within this area. This 5% means 5% chance, so that is pretty decent chance. That does mean a marginal risk. Now, there is only a marginal risk, no slight risk or anything like that. So you're safe in eastern, today, eastern Massachusetts does look good. If we go to day 2, though, that is where you can see we also have that severe weather threat. So tomorrow is where you should be watching out for that severe weather threat. And there's even a 2% for tornadoes tomorrow. So tomorrow is the day you should be watching out for some strong winds and maybe an isolated tornado or two. Now, there's also a 5% chance of some winds in that same area as the tornado threat. So it's going to be a squall line, maybe a few rotating storms and tornado warnings or anything like that in that area. So that's where you're going to watch out. Now, day 3, if anyone is wondering, there is nearly no threat. Whoa. Okay, that is a helicopter that just passed by. But luckily, day 3, there's barely any risk. There's a TSCN general thunderstorm risk here, and then for southern Florida there. So pretty low risk, and I would actually be surprised if there's any severe weather tomorrow, which is definitely a good thing. And you'll be waiting tomorrow. Okay, yeah, definitely stay safe tomorrow. And there's also another thing I would like to mention. If we take a look at the Weather Prediction Center, there is actually a higher threat of some flooding today. There is actually a slight risk, in fact, for flash flooding for this entire area here. So that means that there is going to be some scattered flash floods possible in those areas. So if you're in those areas, you've got to watch out. There's a 10 to 20% chance of a flash flood within 25 miles of a given point in that area. And then on day 2, portions of central and eastern Massachusetts are in that marginal for some flash flooding, which is the lowest threat you can go, which is definitely a good thing for your area. Although still a threat, so a few scattered flash floods do remain a possibility. Now, if we go back to the radar here, you can see that we have a brand new special weather statement that has just been issued. The special weather statement. So let's see. I would like to check something real quick. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, the special weather statement here is for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and this storm is moving at 35 mile per hour to the north. I would personally say, based on radar, I would say northeast. No, what am I? Never mind. Let's just go with north. But yeah, maximum hail size 0 inches, which is a good thing. Although there we have that 40-mile-per-hour wind threat, and if we take a look at radar, you can see that there is that wind threat for maybe even some winds above 50 miles per hour. So you have to start watching out for that. And also there is some very isolated areas here, which radar is picking up 70-mile-per-hour winds. Although luckily this is very isolated, and this may just be the radar glitching or something. Although over here, I'm not sure what this is. So I definitely don't believe there is any 90-mile-per-hour winds or anything like that happening over there. You should be fine as far as being in the flood zone. Okay, that is good. Now, luckily there is that low risk as well for flash flooding, but still something to watch. But luckily you're out of the flood zone, which is definitely a really good thing when dealing with these kind of storms. But yeah, new special weather statement continues here for the next 23 minutes. So it looks like they are expecting this right here to probably reach the top of this special weather statement in about 20 minutes, which is very fast. Although, again, we still have this other pretty strong line of some storms over here. And if we actually take a look at the wind on this, there is some strong winds in the area. Whoops. Winds potentially into severe, 57, 60, I just saw, yeah. So we are seeing potentially severe winds, severe thunderstorm force winds in this area. So, again, if you're in that area as well, you have to watch out. And they may issue a special weather statement shortly for this. And if I had to actually guess where this is going to go, I would say anywhere in this area. I feel it is going to move slow to the more northeast. Although it can go really from anywhere straight north. What am I doing? It can go anywhere straight north or anywhere straight this way, I would say. So even in New York City, you have to watch out for this little line here of some very heavy rainfall and potentially some strong winds there. So if we head back to these flash flood warnings, as you can see, still remains radar indicated. I believe all of them remain radar indicated, which is definitely a very good thing. Although this one does say 1 to 2.5 inches in 1 hour, so it's very heavy rainfall rates. And speaking of those rainfall rates, this is what we're looking at for radar indicated rainfall rates. We're seeing rainfall rates to 2.5 inches per hour, which is very significant. So in those areas where there's 2.5 inches per hour, that's where you can be starting to see that flash flood risk. And those areas are starting to move out of the flood warning, so they may have to issue another flood warning for up here. And if we take a look at our accumulated rainfall here, as you can see, very heavy rainfall in this area. That is just crazy rainfall there. That is into over an inch, maybe even getting above 2 inches in these areas from these storms. And that is rainfall that's radar indicated on the ground. So they may actually have to issue another flash flood warning, I would say, for this area. Right there is where they probably would issue that flash flood warning. Now, if anyone is wondering where I am located, I am in central New Jersey. I'm not going to show exactly where. But I will say that I'm somewhere within this circle, you could say. So, somewhere within this circle is where I'm currently located, and I am tracking this storm locally too. And all I'm really seeing right now is some strong winds gusting to around 25 miles per hour. So nothing too strong yet. You were pretty good with weather. How long have you been doing weather? I believe, I'm actually not sure. I know I've had my YouTube channel for, I believe, 2 years. Let me actually check that, though. Yeah, 2020, so that would be like a little more than a year ago. I came onto YouTube and started streaming and stuff. But yeah, I've kind of always been to weather. At any weather event in the past, I would always, I would like to watch it and stuff. So yeah, I guess you could say I've always been into weather. And just like I was saying earlier, we actually do have a special weather statement for that storm I mentioned earlier with the strong winds. This one right here. So this new special weather statement is in effect for 40-mile-per-hour winds, and luckily there's no hail risk with this, so that is very good news for the people who are currently being affected by this. Although I think they may even upgrade the wind a little bit, as there is some strong winds actually getting picked up over here into 60 miles per hour. And over here, again, 40, maybe to 50, so it looks pretty accurate, but they might bump that up to about 50 miles per hour. In the next 20 minutes or so. as that is actually how long this is issued for, which that does mean that these storms are moving quite fast. They're moving this way, so maybe my initial estimate on where this is going to be heading is a little off, maybe not as far east. So it will be moving kind of straight north towards Mount Olive area, Wayne, New Jersey. But luckily, it doesn't look like New York City is in the main area to watch right now for this, although things always change direction, so we could be seeing this make a more eastern turn. It could head like that, going straight to New York City, or it could even turn more north up here, so it could do something like that. I don't know. Even the SPC outlook is actually showing something like that. They're showing the threat kind of move over here a little bit, so it is possible that we could be seeing those storms be moving like this and then eventually go through New York City there. So it is something to watch for sure. We can actually take a look at 3D radar for these storms. I haven't really been showing that as much as I should have been. And we actually do have a report of 1.5 inches of rainfall in this area here, and lots of flood alerts and stuff coming in from the Philadelphia region there. And I'm actually surprised this is not a confirmed flash flood on the warning, at least. I think they definitely should confirm that, as the reports are there. So let's actually take a look at that 3D radar scan here. So this is what the storms are currently looking like on 3D radar, and I think we can actually, yeah, we can do that. So here are all the frames here. You can see it is moving just about straight north by the looks of it. And so let's actually look at this real quick. So it looks like there's very low rotation in these storms. It looks like it is picking up some sort of wind or something there. And whoa. Okay, it looks like that is just how the radar is doing that. I'm actually surprised I'm not seeing any wind shear on here. Typically, you would see wind shear as like either green on the top and red on the bottom. So this would be green up here and red down here. So there is not much wind shear currently occurring within the storms, at least, which usually there is. Now if we go back to, actually let's go into Radar Omega. Let's try this 3D radar out here. I'm not as big of a fan as the for the Radar Omega one here, but it is 3D radar. And let's actually take a look at these storm tracks here. So this is actually the storm track from Radar Omega, where they're saying the storm could go. So it looks like this storm is in range potentially, I would say anywhere from Mount Laurel here, maybe to Tabernacle area here, and Red Lion over there. That is where you gotta watch out. But it is bringing it straight through Medford Township, New Jersey. So over there, that's where you gotta watch out for that heavy rainfall. Now I will actually move more in. Like I can actually zoom in very far on this one, actually into the neighborhoods and streets here. And it looks like we might be getting some hail, actually. Right here, we might be seeing some hail, so I'm actually going to change the parameter to hydrometer classification. And it is picking up some minor hail by the looks of it in some of these areas, especially here. So let's change this back to reflectivity. But right there, you got to watch out for some hail if you are near Waterford Works. We can actually zoom in all the way in that, near Middle Avenue. That's where your risk of hail really is here. Looks like some sort of neighborhood in that area. And some highways not too far. But you might be getting a few pebbles of hail falling from the sky there. So, nothing really to worry about. Most likely just some pea-sized hail there. And zoom into the Trenton area here. So Trenton, you're currently seeing some lightning strikes and some of those very heavy rainfall rates. Luckily, there's no hail threat with those ones. And if anyone doesn't know, we actually do have a flash flood watch in effect. This goes from pretty far north, actually, and goes into central Massachusetts area, into New York State, and then all the way down into Delaware there. So, flash flood watch in that area, so you gotta watch out for that flash flooding threat. Along with these strong thunderstorms here. Now, I can't call them severe thunderstorms as they are not warned. But, yeah, they are definitely some strong storms. And, yeah, lots of reports coming in of heavy rainfall and some flooding, especially here. Like, look at all of these flood reports coming in. That is just a ton of flood reports in that area. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, you have to watch out for some flash flooding there. And, well, we have a huge extension to our cone here, our cone of concern, you can call it. This cone actually brings us straight through Medford, maybe Mount Laurel, Lumberton, Mount Holly. That's actually where the National Weather Service is, so they might be impacted by this storm. And then eventually Trenton. And it looks like Trenton, you'll be impacted around 3:30 to maybe 3:40-ish time. Yeah, 3:42, that's where you have to watch out from. I would say 3:30 to 3:42. That's when to watch out, Trenton, for those strong thunderstorms in your area. Yeah, we actually have some scattered thunderstorms just to the west of this line. And if you don't know this, this is a cold front. And while there's a lot of reports, yes, that is a lot of reports for sure. That is just a lot of flooding, potentially widespread in Philadelphia. Now, I'm actually going to turn on storm reports here. You know what? I'm going to turn on... There we go. See if there's any spotters in the area. What have I done? And it does look like there is some storm spotters in the area. I know there's one right here. I'm not going to show their locations, but as you can see, lots of storm chasers and Skywind spotters in the area. Especially in New Jersey, they're most likely either in the storms right now or awaiting those storms. There's even some in New York City there, by the looks of it. Let's turn this off. We have a very strong situation going on here. I'd even say a very dangerous situation. Now, at the moment, there's not as much to talk about at the moment, so I will go over some tropic stuff here. And is there a storm spotter radio frequency to listen into? That I'm actually unsure of. I know they sometimes there's a group of storm spotters and stuff that have their own radios, but I'm not sure. I know there's always YouTube streams, but that's usually during hurricanes and larger events. So that I'm not exactly sure, but I'll actually have to look into that later to see if there is. But you can always listen to the National Weather Service radio. They have warnings and stuff. But yeah, I don't know any good sources of those alerts on radio or anything like that. So here's a little update on our current tropic situation here in the Atlantic. We have Tropical Storm Sam, and let me actually go back to that. Tropical Storm Sam is a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm with minimum central pressure of 1,003 millibars, currently moving to the west at 14 knots and 16 miles per hour. And if we take a look at the cone here, as you can see, it's going to get pretty strong. It's going to stay a tropical storm till like 8 a.m. Friday, and then it'll eventually form to a hurricane, and then eventually a major hurricane as it gets closer to Puerto Rico and the Western Antilles and all those areas over there. So, those islands, you better watch out. We have to take a look at how strong those winds are. And hello, severe weather alert. So it looks like this will be very strong 125 mile per hour major hurricane here. So that's very strong with gusts almost up to Cat 5 in gusts. So not sustained winds, but gusts could reach that high. So these islands better watch out as the cone is nearing their area. Now I will go back to the severe weather coverage right now. So not much has changed yet. Now there is that special weather statement that remains in effect here for southern New Jersey. Let's actually zoom into this again. Oh, not another tropical storm. Yep. Now I'm not sure if it's going to impact land at all on the coming days, but it is going to be at the time. Right now, it's not looking good for strength. Although impact, it's just way too far out to tell. So it's not going to be like a major landfall anywhere in the next few days. We have a lot of time to watch the storm and stuff like that. Now, did you get a message in? Let me actually check that real quick. So, there's now a report of thunder and heavy rainfall in Mount Laurel Township, New Jersey, over here. So, very heavy rainfall in that area. We can actually zoom in closer. We have very heavy rainfall in this area. Luckily, no hail or anything like that, but there is some lightning and some very heavy rainfall in that area. Okay. So yeah, very heavy rainfall is reaching some areas. It's actually impacting highways over here. This is the New Jersey Turnpike by the looks of it. Very heavy rainfall here is going to be causing some traffic problems. So yeah, if you're on the roads during heavy rainfall, make sure you drive slower. Not too slow, but just be careful and never drive through flooded roadways or anything like that, as that is actually one of the most dangerous things to do during severe weather and heavy rainfall. Now, this special weather statement will be expiring in just 6 minutes, and the other one just to the north of it here looks like it will expire a bit sooner. They actually both expire in 6 minutes. The orange and red does mean heavy rain, yeah. The yellow, I would say, means more moderate rainfall. Maybe even the orange more moderate, but if you see any red, that is just very heavy rainfall. And usually pink means like very heavy rainfall or hail. So if you ever see pink or anything like that, that usually means hail. And the radars softwares I do use, they do have different color tables, so it's not going to be all the same. So on one could show pink for hail, and the other one maybe won't. That's just the color table settings and stuff. And yeah, but they all revolve around a similar color table. So red usually means very heavy rain, yellow and orange usually is moderate, and the greens are light. I did actually see a pixel of hail. I don't know where that. Alright, here it is. It's actually near a Waterford Works. There remains an area of possible hail right here. So you still have to watch out for some hail. And let's actually see. Yeah, so let's head back to the coverage. Sorry about that. We have very heavy rainfall is occurring, and it does look like the storm tracks have shifted a little bit more to the east by the looks of it. So they're now bringing it more over closer to this area here, near Trenton over here, just to the east of Trenton actually, is where the heavy rainfall is now projected to head. And we can actually look at some information from the storm tracks here. So, potential for severe hail is 0%, although the percentage of hail is 20%, and the maximum size possible is around 0.5%. 0.5 inches, so a half an inch. And let's see. So very heavy rainfall continues. Actually just check. Okay, and I do actually have a video to show. This is from Man the Weatherman. Actually, a friend of mine who's in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, I will actually show a video that he took of the storms in his area. So here's the video of the storms in Mount Laurel. So you can see decent heavy rainfall there. The rainfall has died down a bit. But yeah, there's definitely some rainfall there. Earlier they got a lot heavier rainfall than this. And some stronger winds earlier. But yeah, it's just a standard thunderstorm here. With some heavy rainfall, and actually if I zoom into that area, you can see the rainfall is moving out. The rainfall was over here. This is that heavy rainfall, but it is moving to the north now. Although they actually might get another area of some heavy rainfall there, so even heavier rainfall possible in that area. So, actually there's a lot of heavy rainfall actually occurring in the southern area again over here. This is near Medford Lakes, Tabernacle area. This area is seeing very heavy rainfall, and along with this northern part of the line here near Trenton, Ewing, Montgomery, Reddington, even actually near Union Township over here, you're seeing very heavy rainfall as well. Oops. So let's actually take a look at 3D radar yet again of these storms. So first we'll take a look at the southern storm, and then we'll move on to the northern storm. So right here you can see pretty heavy rainfall. What am I saying? This is clouds. But yeah, pretty interesting looking clouds here. Along with the heavy rainfall. Now let's actually take a look at base velocity here. Now, there is, mostly it doesn't look like there is much wind shear in the storm. Usually I do see some, but right now I'm not seeing much wind shear, at least on velocity. There's also near nothing on the NROT. But if we take a look at the northern storms here, see, there is some stronger winds actually with these northern storms. There is still winds of up to 60 miles per hour. 40 to 50 miles per hour. What am I saying? So even if you're in this northern area, you still have to watch out for those strong winds there. And I would like to mention that if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I definitely recommend you subscribe. I'm going to be posting every day, or I'll try to post every single day. And along with that, also follow my Twitter page. My Twitter page, I post a lot about weather and stuff on there. So if you want to check that out, I definitely recommend you go. The link is in the description below. On there, I sometimes post even when I don't do videos. So even if I don't do a video, we'll post about weather on there, so you can get all your updates and stuff there. And if you're ever in a dangerous situation, I definitely recommend you check out the National Weather Service page, which is weather.gov. Here, and then you can always click on your local area and then get your local forecast. And that is a pretty large flood warning that's currently in effect here. This is a flood warning. I believe it is a No, this is a flood advisory. I'm sorry, the flood advisory, which is currently in effect here, is saying that there's going to be some rainfall, nothing too dangerous, but yeah, some heavy rainfall for sure. We even have coastal flood advisories in effect for some of these areas as well. So if you're in, I don't know, northern Burlington County or any of these counties over here, you have to watch out for some of that flooding along within Maryland. Now, Maryland, you're seeing a lot of minor river or coastal flooding there, and even down here, you're even seeing some more into Virginia and stuff like that. So, gotta watch out over there as well for some minor flooding. That's more if you're on the coast, you might get some flooding there, but yeah. And we also have a flash flood watch. You can actually see that dark green over here is that flash flood watch over there. So that does go pretty far north. So those storms are going to be moving north, and the rainfall threat will continue up there. And this is actually that current rainfall outlook here. You can see slight risk is in effect. This actually does include New York City. So you are not out of the area to watch yet, New York City. You still have that chance of some scattered flash floods. As you can see here, mainly localized, mostly vulnerable urban areas, roads, and small streams and washes. That's where you can see that isolated, significant flash floods possible, and then more scattered, normal or weaker or less intense flash floods. So I would say in Philadelphia, that's where it's more likely to see more intense, because there's a lot of things being issued now. It does look like there is a new special weather statement in effect. This is not popping up on the radar screen yet, but it is for mostly just looks like Burlington County, northern Burlington County is in that, as well as portions of Pennsylvania. So it's not popping up on my display yet, but I could say over here is where that threat is for this storm right here. Because this storm is going to move north, and that's going to bring some more threats for heavy rainfall and some strong winds. So let's actually see, did this display? Alright, here it is. So here is actually that threat right here, as you can see. We have our special weather statement or severe weather statement. For those strong winds and stuff there. So this does include most of Burlington County, and then portions, very isolated portions of Pennsylvania here, which is Bristol and near Bensalem there. That's where you're going to watch out still for some of the severe weather and maybe some flooding. So yeah, mostly just radar indicated. Gusty winds could knock down some tree limbs, blow around unsecured objects, and stuff like that. So nothing too bad there. And hello, Carnage WX. Now, other than that, there's not much currently going on. Again, we still have that flash flood warning in effect here. So still the chance of that flash flooding, and I think this threat is actually going to continue for the next 2 hours, because that's when it expires in about 2 hours. Take the watch out there. And I would like to note that along with this, there's also a lot of small rain showers and stuff firing up over here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be severe or anything, but yeah, a few rain showers may pop up in this area here. So if you're in this area, you got to watch out for some rain showers that might create slightly hazardous driving conditions and poor visibility. That's the main threat with those kind of rain showers. Although maybe if this one down here near Little Egg Harbor and Bass River, If this does strengthen, it could become a little line, maybe special weather statement warns, moving through Ocean County and then eventually Monmouth County, and then actually straight towards the New York City area here. So Elizabeth, New York City, you gotta watch out for that as well. But that is really only if it strengthens. Now there is a new NPing alert in effect here. This is for lawn furniture or trash can displays and small twigs broken. So that is actually behind that line that I just mentioned here. So right there we could be seeing a wind threat. And that could mean that it's strengthening, and we could be seeing that special weather statement coming in. And if we actually take a look at this, you could see very strong winds, 50s, 40s. So I actually wouldn't be that surprised if this line does get special statemented pretty soon, as the rainfall even looks like it's intensifying a bit. We can actually look at that to make sure. But yeah, it actually does look like the rainfall is intensifying, or at least is not weakening right here. So this might go special statement warned. It's just a flash flood report here. River / creek overflowing, cropland / yard / basement flooding. So any of those things are possible in that area. And that is near Winslow and Hamilton area. So that is some confirmed flooding over there. And we even have a rain report here for these rain showers. And I'm not sure. I don't think there's actually snow. I know we are getting into fall now. So this is when we are going to start seeing the potential for snow. And I really don't want to track winter storms. But I will be tracking winter storms. Don't worry. I will definitely be tracking them anyway. Despite that I don't want to, I will. And this is actually a non-thunderstorm wind risk here. Very, very widespread. Strong winds over southern New Jersey, central New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania here, and lots of Delaware and Maryland. You're also in that area of concern there for some of those strong winds. So it is a limited risk, which means breezy conditions could blow around unsecured items and may result in hazardous driving conditions for high-profile vehicles. I know I actually experienced that, so I can confirm that that is true. Some might want. Whoa. Okay, my weather radio just went off, so something must have just been issued. Okay. Okay, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. This is in effect for Princeton, Rocky Hill, Skillman, Millstone, Somerset, and even going pretty close to Morristown up there. So you gotta watch out if you're in that area. As we are looking at max wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Maximum hail threat 0.75 inches. So yeah, definitely gotta watch that. And there's also the risk for torrential rainfall in this storm, so we may even get a flash flood warning if this does dump enough rainfall here. So yeah, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. And I'm actually going to move this radio and use it as an alert system for the stream, actually. Now I think of it. But yeah, not much is happening right now. Although I can confirm is I am seeing dark clouds outside my house right now. So pretty dark clouds in the area, so maybe some rainfall. But yeah, that severe thunderstorm warning does continue. It's actually this year. So that is newly issued just a minute ago. We have that alert. And I'm sorry that I'm not talking. I'm just checking something right now. Okay, the alarm is going off again. So something was issued for northern New Jersey by the looks of it, and it is a new flash flood warning that is now in effect. A flash flood warning is now in effect. This actually goes for Trenton, Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Flemington, Highbridge, all these areas, including Princeton. So what I was saying earlier about that flash flood warning, this is in effect, and it does say radar indicated. So you gotta definitely watch out if you're in this flash flood warning. You don't want to drive in flooded areas or anything like that. Let's just take a look at this again. But yeah, that severe thunderstorm warning does continue. If we actually go take a look at the winds right now in that severe thunderstorm, by the looks of it, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, radar confirmed here, and maybe even a little rotation is trying to pull together. So something to watch there. If there is maybe a little bit of rotation starting to pile up there. Let's see. If I actually take a look at some of those rainfall rates, let's actually take a look at that. So very heavy rainfall rates occurring just actually to the west of this. We're seeing about 2.5 inches per hour possibly, or at least accumulated at the moment. Per hour, we are seeing about 2.5 inches per hour in some of these areas here. So definitely still something to watch, especially for heavy rainfall there. Correlation coefficient, not much is being picked up. If you're wondering about this big line here, this is not actually occurring. This is actually just a glitch on the radar. Actually, it might be a hail spike. Now I look at it. Okay, it does look like a hail spike possibly. Again, I'm not sure because I'm not seeing any hail on here, but it is possible that it's a hail spike. Which, yeah, actually, there's a lot of radar indicated hail here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did. If there was actually a small hail threat, and that just occurred. I just felt a big wind gust here. Let's actually see what was that wind. 23 mile per hour. I just had 23 mile per hour wind gust. So let's see. Special weather statement remains in effect over here for these areas. So, I keep thinking it's like 5 or 6 p.m. It's only 3 p.m. actually. There is some dark clouds in my area, so it does look a lot darker. And there's actually a new storm track out for this storm right here. So as you can see, the storm track brings it straight through Manchester Township, and even right here where the radar is where the radar tower is, Fort Knox, or wait. Fort Dix, that is where the radar tower is located. And this does bring it straight through Millstone area, eventually Jackson, Manchester, Chatsworth area, and potentially even Freehold, which does look like a pretty big town over here. Lots of population in this area here that could be exposed by to this storm. And as you can see, it's going to reach this area in about a half an hour or so. It's going to be a very fast-moving storm. And this entire event is most likely going to be out by, I would say, tonight. Let me actually check that real quick. But I believe this entire event is going to be out by about tonight. And yeah, I was wrong. It's going to be a lingering threat into tomorrow morning, actually. What am I talking about? But yeah, it is going to be a lingering threat, actually. So you have to watch out. Because all of this, actually, now I'm thinking of it. Let's actually take with the radar towers in this area. All of this rain over here is going to move straight north through New Jersey, New York, especially Long Island. You're going to be dealing with all that. So all this rain, we have to watch out for. So the threat is not over and will continue. Now, obviously, it won't be live streaming for the entire event. I'm probably going to end this around 4, maybe 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. As I don't have all day, I have work to do and stuff like that. But I still want to provide coverage, so I'll be doing coverage for as long as I can. Ooh, this cone is huge. This brings it pretty far, actually. Very large cone. Usually the larger it is, the further it can go. Whoa. This is moving at 99 miles per hour. The winds in the storm are not even that strong. Wow. And new cone is out for this storm right here. So it looks like it will be impacting Roosevelt area around 4 p.m. and eventually we'll be getting near the East Brunswick area by around 4:12 p.m. So you gotta watch out for this storm here. And this severe thunderstorm, it does have a lot of lightning associated with it. All this lightning over here is occurring with this storm, so very dangerous storm, especially for lightning and heavy rainfall there. So you have to watch out if you're in that area. And this severe thunderstorm warning does continue for a while. 40 minutes. Whoa, and there is some strong wind gusts outside. Oh well. Actually, there is now hail indicated. 0.32 inch hail is radar indicated with this storm, so there is a hail threat. So 0.75 inch hail is possible, and I would actually say it's likely. We're going to have some pea-sized hail possibly with this storm. New York City remains in the clear for now. Nothing, no rain showers there. Although there is a lot of rain showers currently moving through eastern New Jersey. All this is rain showers, and then to the west, that is where all the activity is right now. This is where everything is currently happening. We have very heavy rainfall. And yeah, the wind threat does remain radar indicated. Let's actually just... What have I done? Actually, we could split this into 2 panels if anyone would like me to do that. See this panel here? You can see we have our base velocity on one side and our reflectivity on the other side. We could always do this. If anyone does want me to actually use it like this, so you can see what the storm's looking like at the same time with winds and rainfall, you can just let me know. You could even do it with 4 panels here, which I think is a bit too excessive, but it really doesn't matter. If you want to see this, then we can definitely see it. So 4 panel, there you go. May not work the best for viewing the storms and stuff like that, but I guess you could say it does work. So I'll bring it back to 2 panels here. We have very heavy rainfall, still continues. And if we actually take a look at the correlation coefficient, oops. Not much is happening on here. There is very little hail, although, as you can see over here, we are picking up some stuff. Whether this is debris or very big raindrops or anything like that, it is picking up something over here. So this could be some very small hail, potentially. And if we actually go onto here, we can actually smooth the data and stuff like that. So it's very clean. I sometimes use this when posting. And I would like to mention that on my Twitter page, I will continue to post a lot of stuff on here. And if you ever have any videos or anything, you can always send that through Twitter. You just add me. Usually when you add me, I can reply to those things, but you can see lots of posts here that I do here. So if you have any weather updates and stuff, this is a good place to check out here. And of course, the National Weather Service. So nothing new is currently being issued for the area. That is except for the special weather statement, which is in effect. The special weather statement is for 40-mile-per-hour winds. Interesting. We actually have rainfall warnings in effect for a lot of Canada here. Okay, so I believe I will be ending the stream quite soon. Actually, just a few minutes I'm going to end the stream, as not much is going on, and it is getting late for streaming here. So I actually plan to end the stream in just a few minutes here. So if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to let me know now, so I can answer them before I end the stream. But if you do have any weather questions after the stream, you can always comment on YouTube or add me on Twitter, whatever. And I actually do plan on making a video tomorrow on whatever is happening. But yeah, I would like to do a quick National Hurricane Center update on what's currently happening. So we have 4 areas of interest to watch. This area here, 60% chance in the Atlantic up here. This is our second greatest threat right now, but our main threat is Tropical Storm Sam here. Tropical Storm Sam is a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Pressure of 1,003 millibars, moving to the west at 16 miles per hour. And yeah, this is going to become a major hurricane here. And it does look like we even have the chance of some tropical storm force winds impacting land here, so we have to watch out for that. Now I'm going to end the stream here. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream and found it informative. If anyone has any further questions, feel free to comment to the stream later today, or you can always add me on Twitter. because I'm usually always online there. And yeah, I would like to thank everyone for watching. If everyone has, hope everyone enjoy the stream. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Twitter. And have a nice day.